All right, Isabella, we are going over the 3-minute drill. She can't see you, George. Good try. That's the first problem is 7 times 10. I think I wrote on it in your packet Wednesday. So go ahead and pause the video, do that, and we're going to go over the answers right now. All right, I'm going to go down. We have 70, 0, 28, 12, 60, 11, 100, 143, 140, 64. Are we good? New line, next column. 50, 9, 108, 154, 24, 81, 7, 195, 3, 10. New line, 154, 16, 0, 44, 33, 0, 165, 117, 156, 24. Next one, 63, 14, 182, 0, 36, 52, 8, 56, 36, 0. New line, 126, 70, 18, 30, 0, 105, 42, 25, 24, 11. Last row, last column, 126, 52, 84, 78, 0, 16, 49, 96, 33, 18. Put the amount that you got right over 80. What did I say?
You said
18. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, by the end of the day, 80. All right. By the end of the day, you know. So up there, the number that you got correct over 60. So take the number you missed, subtract from 60.
Can you repeat the fourth row?
Yeah. 63, 14, 182, 0, 36, 52, 8, 56, 36, 0. All right, and turn them in the bag.
What was this one?
165. Think of it like this. Hey Joe, let me tell you how I think about the 11. I think about it as 10 times the number and 1 times the number. So 10 times 15 is 150. 1 times 15 is 15. So 150 and 15. That's how I break it down. All right, here we go. Go ahead and get your page ready to go. Today, well, what we should have started last Monday, a week ago Monday, was our new structure. So let me tell you how it's going to go. We are going to do a lesson. Then I'm going to give you homework on a different sheet that practices the skill in the lesson. We're going to spend 3 days on every lesson. Okay? Day 1, I give you notes. Homework is on a worksheet. Day 2, we do a practice day, drilling the skill. Day 3, we do all 30 problems of review. Okay? And it's going to go like that for a while now. Because what happened was I felt like we knew everything up until a certain point. That was review, like up through like lesson 49. Then we hit lesson 50 or 51, something. Yeah.
Oh, when you pass back the test, should we get them signed?
I don't know. No, I don't know. But then we got somewhere and it introduced a whole lot of new stuff, and you guys like were treading water, trying to keep your heads above water in math. And I didn't like that because I don't think it drilled the new skills hard enough. So we're gonna really hit some of these skills really hard, because what we're doing today is continuing order of operations, and it needs more than a day or 2. The stuff that you did over break should have been review, right? Like lots of review. Triangles with review, hopefully, right, George? All right. Your book's going to call these, this is lesson 63. Your book's going to call these symbols of inclusion. Okay? Symbols of inclusion. Basically what we're doing is a continuation of order of operations. So let's start with the order of operations that we already know. What is it? What's the order of operations we already know?
First, you do the parentheses.
We do parentheses.
Then you do multiplication and division left to right. and then you do subtraction and addition.
Sure. So we start with the parentheses. We're actually going to maybe possibly add an exponent in there.
Okay.
I don't know if our book right now is going to do exponents. We might see it. Then we do multiplication and division from left to right. They're on the same level. So if division comes before, we do division before multiplication if it goes left to right. And if addition comes before, we do addition before subtraction. Okay? I had a meeting with Father Jenkins, and he brought up a good point. I said, okay, I'm going to teach order of operations. He said, did you ever teach order of operations with like making, and he had this whole gadget that he was like, we should do this with nuts and bolts. And I was like, oh, well, if I didn't just lose a week and a half of school, yeah, sure. But let's think about order of operations in real life. Have you guys ever made a cake from a box?
Yes.
Okay, why do we need order of operations? Okay, let's see. Why do we need order of operations? When you make a cake from a box, you make the cake batter, then you put it in the pan, then you put it in the oven. That's your order of the operation of making this cake. Do you agree? What would be really, really backward is if you did this. Oh, I need eggs, and I just dump it all in the pan, or like take the box and put it in the oven, take the eggs and put them in the oven. You wouldn't just do that. Do you know what I mean? You follow this logical step process to get the finished product. And everybody around the world does the same thing. Does that make sense? No? You wouldn't do it backwards. You wouldn't make a cake backwards. The same thing for order of operations. It's a set way that you have to solve a problem, so everybody solves it all over the world the same way. Make sense? So, what we're going to touch on today are these symbols of inclusion. So, parentheses are symbols of inclusion. You're also going to see brackets. And the one that you guys haven't really worked a lot with, but we're going to work a lot with today, is, we'll call this a fraction bar, a division bar, but it's a grouping symbol. You do what's on top first, and then you do what's on bottom. You can't do some on the top and some on the bottom and then mix it all up. So let's look at an example, and keep your book closed. And I'm going to kind of stay over on this board. No, I'm not. I'm going to go to this board so that I can take Isabella with me. I've become, hi Isabella. We'll let Isabella say hi to everybody in class. Let's see if it works better back there. It might be too far away. Sorry. We'll see if it works better here. That looks just right. Okay, sorry Isabella for jiggling you around. All right, let's look at this example. Example 1. We have 15 minus 5 plus 7. All right. Where do I begin? Let's look back over here. I have my parentheses, my grouping symbols first. So what am I going to do first, George?
5 plus 7.
I'm going to do 5 plus 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. I bring down my subtraction sign and I bring down my 15. 15 minus 12 is 3. This is my simplified version of this expression. So let's talk about words. You're going to see this word expression. This right here is a numerical expression. You're going to see the word evaluate. Okay? The word evaluate means to get it down to its simplest form. Simplest. Is that how you spell simplest form?
Yeah.
It's been a long day. It doesn't look look right, but I guess, okay. Simplest form. Does that make sense? All right, let's go through some examples. All right, example 2. We have 20 in brackets, which have the same purpose as parentheses. Minus, sorry, I messed up. 20 minus, in brackets, 15 minus 5 plus 7. Sorry, I think it's just a take on this beginning. Yeah, it is. I don't like it when they do that. All right, so we already did this. What does this equal?
3.
What, Helen? 3. We already did it. Doing it with something else out front isn't going to change our order of operations. We do what's in parentheses first, we work out. We do what's in the brackets next, then we work out. So what we in effect have is 20 minus 3, and 20 minus 3 simplified is what?
17.
All right, let's look. Here we go. Another example, example 3. Let's see, where am I? Example 3, let's look at 50 minus, in brackets, 20 plus 10 minus 5. All right, can I give you one vocab word now that you might see? They're going to call parentheses inside of brackets nested. I don't know why, kind of like they're sitting in a nest. So if you see some verbiage somewhere, it says a nested set of parentheses. So sometimes your book spells stuff out for you and wants you to make an expression out of it. In case you see this word nested, I'm never going to say nest your parentheses. It's odd. It's just odd for me to say that. I'm not going to. But if you see this word nested, that means parentheses inside of another grouping symbol. All right, where do we begin? Joe?
10 minus 5.
10 minus 5. I begin here, which is 5. I hope that you didn't need me to ask you that. All right, I still have brackets. I'm going to bring my brackets down, but I have simplified this into this, so I don't need to rewrite any part of that. All right, so I have 20 plus 5, bring down everything else. This is how I want your work to look, by the way. Good habits. I'm training you guys young. All right, what do I do next, George?
20 plus 5.
Good. So I have 25. Now I can get rid of the brackets. I can get rid of everything in here. I bring down my subtraction sign, and I bring down my 50. 50 minus 25 is what, Felicity? 25. All of that simplifies down to that. All right? All right. Too easy for you, Joe? Don't worry. Hopefully the stuff that I give you for homework will be nice and easy. I'm going to try to hurt your brains a little bit tomorrow. And then we'll move on. Okay. This one's a little harder. 12 minus, in parentheses, 8 minus the absolute value of 4 minus 6. Woo! Plus 2. All right. You ready to talk about this absolute value sign?
What was that?
Oh my goodness. Why is it looking up? There we go. What?
What was the absolute value?
This. Remember? Okay, this is one of those things. This right here is the absolute value. We did the absolute value a while ago. And I said, this isn't really important because they're just going to touch on it and then we're going to use it in 2 years to come. Absolute value is the distance of some number away from 0. So the absolute value sign also works like a grouping symbol. So that's why they've got this example here. The absolute value works like a grouping symbol. So it's going to change to apply its properties to the number, but it's also, okay, I promise I wasn't moving it, was I? It was just moving. Sorry, Isabella. It's like falling over the side. All right, so this grouping symbol, it's going to group it and it's going to change to apply properties. So 4 minus 6 is what? Negative 2. So let's just go ahead and write that. 12 minus, open parentheses, 8 minus the absolute value of negative 2 plus 2. What's the absolute value of 2? 2. So now I have 12 minus, open parentheses, 8 minus this whole thing goes away and I just write 2 plus 2. Does that make sense? We okay there? So now, where do I go? Sarah?
2 plus 2.
Look, I'm doing addition and subtraction, and I go right to left. So I could do subtraction before addition because they're in the same level. What do you think?
8 plus 2.
Yeah, 8 minus 2. So I do this operation right here. So I get 6 plus 2. I'm still inside the parentheses. All right, what's my next?
6 plus 2.
This is 8. 12 minus 8, so I've got 4. Are we okay there? I'm not trying to go super slow. This is just a really important topic. Super duper important. All right, example 5. Now this is going to use the fraction bar. We've got 4 plus 5 times 6 minus 7 plus 5 times 6 minus 7 over 10 minus, in parentheses, 9 minus 8. Okay? Now, what you have to do is everything on top and everything on bottom first. Let's just go ahead and draw our fraction bar. All right, what do I do on top here?
5 times 6.
5 times 6. So 4 plus 5 times 6 minus 7. 5 times 6 is 30. Bring down my 4 and my plus sign minus 7. Now, what do I do here? What comes next here, Isabel? I'm right here.
34 plus 30.
34. 4 plus 30 is 34 minus 7. 34 minus 7 is what? Minus 4, 27? Yeah. So on top, I have 27. Does that make sense? All right. On bottom, I have 10 minus 9 minus 8. What do I do first, George?
9 minus 8.
9 minus 8 is what? 1. 10 minus 1 equals 9. 27. All right. What do I have this. I've simplified everything down to this. What's next? Isabel?
27 divided by 9.
Which is what?
3.
Good. 27 divided by 9. All right. Oh, that's the same one. Okay, open up your book to page 449. 449. Okay. What I want you to do. Let me get you a piece of paper. What I want you to do, yeah?
I left my book from lunch. I had the.
Okay, do you want to run over and see what's there?
It's right outside.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. All right. We're going to look at the practice set right there. So you can start looking at it right now. Looking at the practice set. Okay? Looking at the as an exit slip. Isabella, you can just do it on a different piece of paper and turn it in one day. Okay, so on this piece of paper, please label your paper accordingly. You can put CW 168. All right. Practice set. So we've got we're not justifying. I don't need you to write me a justification. I need to know that you can solve these appropriately. Okay? So I want you to solve them so you rewrite the problem and then you simplify each step of the way down. Does that make sense? Okay. When you are finished, you can turn it into the bin back here, and in this envelope here is your homework for tonight. Okay, so when you think you finished that, turn it in, and here's your homework. Isabella, this is homework 169. I put it in the manila folder for you.